What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Sully MMA, and today we are going to be getting into a more in-depth breakdown and prediction of the Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway match coming up this July 11th. So, I think if you listen to my prediction video that I made yesterday, it's pretty clear where I stand, and I do think that Max is gonna get the best of him, but let me explain why. And let's not overlook the simple fact that this year of 2026 has been a year of the upset. And if you were to just bet money, I would say just bet money on Conor. But if we look at it, it seems so obvious. If you look at Max Holloway's last performance, yes, it was a loss to Charles Oliveira, who's one of the greatest lightweights and one of the greatest fighters in the world right now. So I don't think it's a bad loss. Is it disappointing that his wrestling was so weak that he was able to get out-grappled for 5 rounds straight? I do think so. I think that when you're training at that level, I know it's Charles, but come on, let's get a scramble going. Let's get something going. Get up to your feet, at least defend one takedown. But it just seemed as if every single time Charles got that body lock, Max went down. He did do great off of his, on his defense. Charles couldn't submit him. And some people might think that, ooh, maybe this is the start of a losing streak for Max Holloway. But I don't think so. He lost to somebody that was also consistent, has been going training camp after training camp, facing top-level opponents, and he still went all 5 rounds with one of the best fighters right now, as of today, and one of the best mixed martial artists of all time. He went 5 rounds with him. I don't think Conor McGregor would have been able to do that. Sadly, it just doesn't really seem feasible. Yes, he's been out for 5 years. His last fight was a rare and extreme leg break. And then even before that, he got knocked out. So if you were to take away the leg break, just take away the leg break. And then look at his second last fight with Dustin, the second fight with him. How would you predict it? If you just said, oh yeah, in his last fight he got knocked out by Dustin and then took 5 years off, 6 years off. Are we not looking at that KO loss and thinking, that could have had an effect on him for sure? And then also you got to look at Conor and say, how do you feel after 5 years? How does your timing feel after not fighting for 5 years? You didn't fight for, a year or two? And his timing looked that much more off from fighting Donald Cerrone in the Dustin Poirier fight. Some people say that rematch with Dustin was one of the best Conors we've ever seen based off of the amount of skills that he showed. But I think he just showed traditional skills. I don't think he had a great performance that night. If anything, I think that was one of his lower performances. So yes, Conor McGregor is deteriorating. And one of the things that made him so good was his perfect timing and distance management. His new style, for some reason, he doesn't have any distance management. He just kind of bull rushes into it. And his reflexes are definitely not the same. His body is still quick, but his eyes and his instincts, they are not the same as what they were 5 years ago, let alone 10 years ago. So do I think Conor McGregor is going to come in there and look sharp and look good? Yeah, I actually do. But I think he's just going to try to throw a whole bunch of stuff right away. And that is not the way that you win a fight against Max Holloway. Max Holloway is the type of fighter that you actually do need to systematically break down. Look at his loss to Ilia Topuria. Ilia, one of the hardest punchers pound for pound of all time, couldn't just bull rush Max because Max is elusive. He does have good defense, good footwork, and he's definitely been working on it since his championship reign at featherweight when he could just take the punches. Now he knows he can't take the punches the same. Well, that he shouldn't absorb the punches the same way because eventually somebody's going to crack you. Look at his last 3 fights. He's been dropped. I don't really think that we should hold that against Max, that he got dropped by Ilya, Justin, and Dustin. I don't think we should hold that against him because look at all of them. Strikers, KO punch power. It's not crazy to say that they would do that to just about anybody else. And the drop that Justin hit him with was like a club to the back of the head almost. And it dropped Max for a split second. Same thing, well, I guess maybe not the same thing with the Dustin fight. With the Dustin fight, he clipped him so good. He clipped him very good and then went for that finish. And Max, man, when he's getting his shit rocked, he definitely looks like he's getting it rocked. Some people are lucid and they take those shots well. It looks like it's caught up to him. It really does look like it's caught up to him. And I know that the weight class is at welterweight, but I don't really think that helps out Conor any more than it helps out Max because they're the exact same size. Max is 2 inches taller. Conor's frame is 5 inches wider, I believe, 5 inches wider. That is a good advantage to have. He definitely has that reach, but Max makes it up with his leg size, I believe. And I think his back muscles are really underrated, especially his traps. So how else do you think he's absorbing shots like how he has in the past? He has strong neck muscles and strong traps. So aside from the storyline, how do I think this fight is going to play out stylistically? I think that Conor has lost that explosive, dynamic, elusive, aggressive, like way of fighting where he can make people panic punch. And I don't think that is what's going to get Max Holloway riled up. I don't think he's going to panic punch. Max Holloway can just move out of the way and kick his leg. And he's not going to TKO Conor with a leg kick. Even after, I think, he has one of the worst leg kicks in history, or leg kick injuries in history. Yeah, he's not going to get KO'd or finished by a leg kick. Max is not putting away people or stinging people from leg kicks. He can throw them, but they're pitter-patter. They're very light. They're more so for points. They might hurt a little bit, but he's not really putting that extra in his power shots to the legs. Justin Gaethje is, and I just know that Conor's not going to kick Max's legs. So if I were to say, how would you beat Max Holloway? Break down those legs. Look at what Ilya Topuria did. He broke down the legs. He didn't throw an immense amount of leg kicks like Volkanovski, but he threw just enough to get Max off of his balance and off of his base to set up the punches. Conor McGregor might throw a leg kick here and there, but look at what Chris Weidman said. He didn't even have the confidence to throw it, even lightly, because he just couldn't. So there was a psychological blockage. There was some type of mental block stopping him from throwing his kicks. So, and I can imagine even getting kicked on that leg with that metal inside your shin. We don't know. Maybe that hurts Conor. Maybe that hurts Conor's leg. I can guarantee nobody's kicked him in the leg as hard as they could in practice. And he's been practicing for 5 years. Maybe it's a good thing that Conor's had 5 years to rest up, but he's 38. Max is 34. And only 34 and a half. He turns, I think, 35 in early December. So he's got plenty of time. He's got 5-6 more months to go until he turns 35. So I think Max, this is his prime right here. Right here, we're going to see one of the best Max Holloways. And every single time we see Max at lightweight, aside from the Charles Oliveira fight, we see him throwing heaters, moving well, good strategy, good timing, good power. Everything's on point with him. I don't see anybody beating Max Holloway on the feet without having an X factor. Like Ilia Topuria would have an X factor in the power. Justin Gaethje said that his problem in the fight with him was that he had a wrong mindset, but I don't know. I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If he says that he wasn't approaching the fight correctly mentally, then I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, but it is what it is, you know. So he got knocked the fuck out, and he got schooled for like pretty much 5 rounds straight by Max. Max is a beast at lightweight. Yeah, he might feel a little bit different at welterweight in the fight, but it's not like it's going to hinder his performance to not have to cut weight. I don't think that Max and Conor are just putting on extra weight, like they're going to bulk up to 190 and then cut down to 170. No, like they're both probably going to weigh about 180 and then cut the extra 10 pounds, like just water weight. Whereas before, they would have had to cut all the way down to 170. They're all the fat on their body to 170, 165, and then they would have had to cut that extra 10, 15 pounds of water weight on top of it. Right now, maybe they don't even do like a weight cut. They just come in, they get down to 170 and they fight at that lighter weight, or they cut the 10 pounds. Who knows what they'll do? Everybody's going to have different strategies and different ways of feeling. But yeah, so Max and Conor, I don't really think this is going to be a leg kick battle. I think this will be body kicks, head kicks, spinning back kicks from Max, and then body kicks and spinning kicks to the head by Conor. And then it's just going to be a boxing match, Southpaw versus Orthodox. Max, I think, should try to feint Conor. Same for Conor. He should try to feint Max, but I don't think Conor's going to do that. He doesn't have comfort in there right now. He doesn't have that big show comfort, and he's going to try to force his way into the fight. Max doesn't have to force his way into anything. He can just fight freely without thinking, and Conor, he's going to feel that pressure. He might, land something right away, but I don't think that's going to break Max. Now, I do think that Conor is mentally weak, and I don't think anybody's covering this. I don't think anybody's talking about how mentally weak Conor McGregor is. Everybody thinks he's so confident. Oh, he's just going to do what he says, and he's not the same guy that he was, and it's so sad to say. But why do you think he's rematching somebody he already beat? Why do you think he rematched Dustin, who he already beat? What was the purpose of that fight? What was the purpose of rematching somebody you already beat when you've been on a layoff? It's because you already beat them. And so you feel that confidence that I did this before and I can do it again. If you walk into the unknown and you say, I've never done this before. How am I going to do it? What do I expect? No, Conor is mentally weak from my point of view. This is just my opinion. I think Conor is mentally weak, and that is why he specifically chooses people he already beat to fight again. Because he needs to have that confidence that I already did it to you. I already beat your ass once. I sunned you. You are my son in there. Sit on my lap. Fucking hell. It's... Why else would he do that? And he doesn't have to have as much motivation to do it, because he can say, well, I beat him already. Maybe I lose this one, but I already beat him. So it's like a built-in excuse to say, yeah, now we're 1-1. And then if you want, you can do a third rematch. So that's why I do think Conor's mentally weak. I feel like he wants to feel a one-up on somebody. I feel like if he does lose, he's going to have a built-in excuse, and then they can rematch anyway, and then he can go from there and recalibrate and all this stuff. So yeah, I don't think that he should have actually picked I don't think he should have picked Max. I think he should have picked somebody else. But then again, who would he have picked? I don't know. I really don't know. Charles? Hell nah, dude. You'll get massacred and butchered by Charles. But I don't think anybody's really talking about the mindset of Conor McGregor right now and how mentally weak of a decision it is to try and rematch somebody who you already beat who's coming off of a loss. Max Holloway is coming off of a loss, so why wouldn't Conor go for the winner? Why wouldn't Conor call out Charles? Charles wanted that fight, no problem, right? So, yeah, that's what I personally think about the psychology behind it. And Max Holloway has everything to prove. I think in his second fight with Dustin, he fucked up. He didn't have the right skills, and Dustin was on a tear. He was destined to go and fight Khabib, because what was Holloway going to do against Khabib? But so Holloway has a chip on his shoulder to beat the shit out of Conor. I think he's going to beat the shit out of Conor. I think he's going to piece him up in the first round. And then that second round, that third round come, bada bing, bada boom. And you might even see a first round knockout by Max. You never know. He has extra pop. I know Conor has pop, but come on now. Max has been around the block. And experience, comfortability, and a chip on your shoulder, I wouldn't put it past Max to just do him real dirty within 3 rounds. So those are my honest thoughts and opinions. I don't know if there's anything else I can think of. Oh, yeah, also, think about it. I've done training before in the gym, and every single year, think about it. Every single year, you get a new plate of armor put on your body when you go through training, when you go through tough tasks, physical or mental, with the majority of it being physical. I would say Conor has not had to go through all of that armor building. He hasn't had to train and stay in shape like Max. I think that maybe he has the bodybuilding on his side. Conor looks jacked as hell. He looks jacked as ever. He was definitely on steroids, and that's good for him. But muscles don't win fights, okay? Max has been every single year putting on a new layer of armor and a new layer of experience. And ultimately, that new layer of armor and that new layer of experience that he's accumulated year after year after year, look at what Max has been doing the last 6 years. Conor hasn't done anything. He's fought 2-3 times. In the first 2 years of 2020 to 2022, I think he fought 3 times. And Max has fought, I think, 15 times. That's crazy. And he's won most of them. He's won almost all of them. He's 10-5, and all of his losses are to one person, 1 or 2 people. Come on now. You can't even, yeah, no, it's 3 people that he's lost to. Charles Oliveira, Ilia Topuria, and Volkanovski. Those are the only people that have beaten Max in the last 5 years. Put that up and think about that. Charles, Ilia, and Dustin. Or no, Charles, Ilia, and Volk. All 3 are legends and top 15 fighters of all time. Maybe top 20 for Charles. I don't know how you want to rate Charles. I would say top 25 considering Charles, top 15 or 10 maybe for Ilia, and top 5 or 10 for Volk, depending on how you rank. Max is just on another level. Mentally and physically, he is on another level. Now, based off of vibes, bro, like I said, Dana White might have sacrificed Yuri, Ilia, and Hamzat just so Conor McGregor could come back and get the upset. But are we really betting on that? I know none of it makes sense. Sean Strickland beats Hamzat. Oh, Justin Gaethje beats Ilia. Oh, a stripper beats a samurai. Oh, well, I don't know, man. Maybe a retired cokehead gets it done against a savage Hawaiian. We never know what's going to happen in this game. And that's why we love it. That's why we love MMA so much, is because it truly just brings out exciting moments. Exciting fights. Styles make fights. And, maybe we see one of the craziest fights of all time. I do think that if you look into... This might be way freaking off topic, but a little bit of numerology. 2026 was... I don't know what 2026 is. I think it's a horse year. But horses are the enemy of the rat. And Ilia Topuria is a rat in Chinese Eastern astrology. And this is his enemy year. You get one enemy year, I think, every 12 years. And this was Ilya Taporia's enemy year, and he got and he got his O taken away badly in his enemy year. I didn't believe in numerology until I saw that, and I was like, holy shit, this might be a thing. So I was looking into a little bit of numerology, being a little bit of a geek, and I think Conor McGregor is a life path 11, and he is fighting on the 11th. Conor McGregor is a life path 11, and he's fighting on the 11th. And this is the year of the upsets for some reason. So we are seeing all these upsets, a little bit of numerology sprinkled in there. Max lost his last fight. I don't know, man. Maybe we see Conor McGregor get a dub. But I'm not going to gaslight anybody into thinking that Conor should win. I would love watching Conor McGregor fight, and Conor holds a special place in my heart, but I'm not going to gaslight anybody into thinking that he is a world beater and championship level right now. Until I see it, I'm not going to believe it. So I guess just stay tuned, and we're going to find out. Saturday night, we're going to find out, right, buddy? Max find out Holloway, and that's how it is. So I just wanted to open up on the fight itself because in my prediction video, I didn't really go too into depth. I kind of just blabbed on briefly and then moved on to everything else. So I thought that you guys should get a little bit more insight into my mind, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So if you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.